Hey guys, I hope you are all having a wonderful night. I want to start off first by saying thank you to everyone who has given me donations. I'm going to just say the names that people have sent donations within like the last month or two, because I just want to make sure that y'all know I'm very grateful for every donation. I know people that have been around, my entire channel is demonetized, blah, 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 blah. So this keeps me going. So thank you so much, Sharon, Lawrence, William, Joseph E, Stephen K, Kent R, Juan B, Christine P, Lynn M F, and Catherine. I can't even read my own writing. Thank you so much. If you would like me to say your YouTube username whenever I do my shout outs and thank yous, just put that in like the message part when you go to PayPal. My link will be in the description and in the pinned comments. Well, it should be. And whenever you go to that, there's a message option, and you can just put my YouTube username is da 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 da, you know, whatever. So I can give you a little shout out because I am super grateful for everything that y'all do for me. Thank you so much. Okay, so apparently it seems that a lot of people are confused about the true biblical definition of lust. Certain people that watch my videos see that I'm a Christian, and then they say, "How dare you dress like that, you hussy," or something. No, they don't say hussy. Well, I'm sure somebody has. But they say silly things like that. But what they usually say is, "You're going to cause someone to lust." Really? You think so? You think so? What is your definition of lust? And then what is the biblical definition of lust? That's what's important. And we're going to talk about some other misconceptions that are about the Bible, because we have these pastors these days that are acting like slavery is brought on by Christians or something, and all kind of other silly things, and pastors actually at their pulpits talking about reparations and all of these ridiculous things. And before you get all emotional, hear me out. Okay, so the actual biblical definition of lust is actually I wrote it down, intense or unrestrained sexual craving, or the overwhelming desire and craving. I'm sure most of you have heard, "Oh, they lust for power," and such sayings, because that is true. Lust is absolutely, definitively not, "Oh wow, she's really beautiful. Hey, I like your shirt. You look really great with your hair down. You're easy on the eyes." Those things aren't lust. They're not. They're just absolutely not. And for you to think so is just so far off base biblically. But don't feel bad. It is something that many people have kind of ingrained into people. Although it's pretty simply, it's just not. If, you know, that there is a separation of thinking that someone is pretty and beautiful, which God made us, so that would be a good thing, right? If you were to look at someone of the opposite sex and say, "Oh wow, they're pretty hot," that's not lust. Lust is watching extended amounts of pornography and not being able to stop watching pornography, or like the definition says, it's unrestrained. Unrestrained. That's why Paul said that if he said that the other, like he told Timothy that if people could not restrain themselves or whatever, they should get married. And people take that as something that is forever. He was speaking to specific people in that specific time. You have to think about things during those time periods. Okay? They knew they had a huge mission, that they were to preach the gospel to everyone within, in their minds, they really thought short period of time. They really weren't sure of the time period, and we still aren't. But, so the best thing was for them to get married. But as most of us know, certain groups took that to the ultimate extreme, like the Vatican, when they forced priests to no longer get married, which I won't say really forced, and that really hasn't been for a long time. It's only been within, I don't know, the last few hundred years. Early on in the Catholic Church, the priests were married. Not all of them, but many were. And there are still married priests today. But you see how you can go to this extreme on either side, to where don't look at any woman, make sure she wears a burqa, to don't get married, and that should work it out. Then you should stop having these kind of lustful desires. See, this is a great example. If you live in a place like Florida, Hawaii, California, even down pretty much anywhere in the South, people don't wear that much clothing because it's so hot. But the thing is, when you live here and you see people in swimsuits or tank tops all the time, it's just normal. You're not like, oh my gosh, I'm so unrestrained, I'm going to jump on this woman. Like that. You're just like, oh, yeah, okay, cute top. Like that. I mean, and that's, I think, I don't know where the disconnect is. I really don't. Now, dressing modesty in correct situations, I mean, I am wearing a full-length skirt, and I wear one pretty much every day. That's totally fine. So I'm not judging anyone for doing whichever one they want. But I wouldn't wear this if I was going swimming. Like I would wear a swimsuit and a cover-up. And that's okay. And girls wearing a bikini on the beach is okay. A woman wearing a mini skirt and like a tube top to Walmart, not exactly okay. But what's funny is these same people that say these things are usually the same ones who are wearing tons of makeup, because they don't even think about these things. They think that, oh, lust is just this, but yet at the same time they're wearing tons of makeup, they're wearing jewelry, they're wearing, they have huge houses, cars, all of these things, but yet they're judging other people on lust, are likely lusting too after something else. Do you have like a shoe obsession, an Amazon obsession, a Game of Thrones obsession? Any obsession, and something that you just cannot stop thinking about, you can't stop doing, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you cannot stop, is a type of lust. And it's also, depending upon what it is, that's fornication as well when used biblically. Fornication is not just sleeping around. It's not. That's why it's in the book of Revelation, and it is speaking about having adultery with the harlot and all of these things. Let's use like Amazon. Let's say that Amazon is the beast system. Let's just say it is. And, you know, Amazon owns the internet that you're on, or the servers that you're on, and you're always shopping at Amazon. And you just can't stop watching everything on Amazon. And I mean, you might go into withdrawals if you stopped having your Amazon account or whatever. That's a problem. That's a problem with anything. Anything taken to extremes is a problem. But see, we have this scale in our minds, which actually aligns with the secular scale. We think certain sins are way worse than others. I was looking at some polls, and they're pretty big polls. It wasn't just like some random, you know, asking people on the street. It was some pretty big polls, and it was astonishing to see how closely aligned non-believers are with believers within the last 20 years. More people, extreme. I might put it up, and if I do, it'll be somewhere right here. People, like, I want to say 95% of people said it was just absolutely immoral for someone to have an affair. Hold on, I'm not saying an affair is okay. But what's crazy is it was 90% with the secular and Christians. But yet abortion was only 60% with Christians and like 20% with the secular audience. And these are the same group of people. And so they rank having an affair as far more immoral than having an abortion. And pretty much 100% of people, it was high 90s, said that birth control was moral. Really? And I bet most people would say it is. Of course it is. No, it's not. Technically, it is sodomy. What? Oh yes. So is females performing oral sex on a man. What? You mean, what? Are you saying that I'm a sodomite because I took birth control? Yeah, I am. Sorry. But the truth is the truth. I don't water it down because of what our Western values hold near and dear to us. You see, but most people don't see it like that because birth control is just a thing. Like, what do you mean? Everybody takes birth control. What? Interesting, right? So maybe you don't know everything. Maybe you saying things is a lot more unchristian than Christian. You know, wise people will keep their mouths shut even when they know they're right in many occasions until the right time. And this is not to be judgmental on anybody. This is just to tell you so you can meditate on what I'm saying, read it for yourself, and come to your conclusion. But just stop spewing nonsense. And now let's get on to this slavery stuff. Oh, the Bible talks about slavery. It endorses slavery. Yes and no. Does it endorse slavery? Well, it said that the Hebrews were acting like heathens. It doesn't say it like that, but they were not obeying God, and so they were allowed to go to Egypt and Babylon to work off their actions, per se. They were slaves. Okay? That has nothing to do with the transatlantic slave trade. It has to do with God's chosen people being slaves. But people have turned that into, I don't know, they've just turned it into just something that's just ridiculous. Something that, people are wanting to change the Bible words in the Bible with all these modern translations, and change, just make things to more align with secular thinking than biblical thinking. From my experience, secular people are pretty much never right over the Bible. Like, ever. Never. They're just not. But whatever. But we have these pastors going around talking about reparations this and reparations that. Are we told to turn the other cheek and forgive and self-deny our physical flesh? If your country happens to go into a complete recession and you have no work, and your only option, or one of your options, is to go work on somebody else's property, doing whatever they want and whatever they need, or even in a factory, wouldn't you choose to do that for your family? Most people would. And that's why we saw so many Irish people doing that to come to the United States. We saw it with the Italians. We saw it with many groups of people that came to America. But yet, we see these people using their platforms and claiming to be Christians and just making these horrendous blanket statements that just don't make any sense. To give reparations to people that weren't even alive during slavery. The worst part is I never hear these people speaking about the current slave trade, the current slavery. There are more people now enslaved in small countries than there ever was in the United States or in Europe. An estimate is about 40 million people are currently slaves. Where are those? Are those in Christian nations? Well, no. They're in China. They're in many countries in Africa. They are in many tons in India. Then we have Uzbekistan. We have Eritrea. Let me see. Pakistan, Afghanistan. I would imagine Saudi Arabia, but I'm not really sure. And that's not even counting the child bride situation in certain cultures. I won't even put those in there because that is what it is. They're not Christians. So you see how this just sounds so silly? Just ignorant. And it sounds almost like they're doing it for attention. They're surely not saying these things to glorify God. It actually makes them look so prideful and ignorant that it's just beyond words. When you can sit in one of the most wealthiest countries in the entire world, and even our poorest person that's not living on the street, I'm saying someone with a home, any type of home, I don't care what it is richer than some of what they consider like middle class in other countries. Our poverty level is upper middle class in certain countries. You having a cell phone, it is just, it just, you're not a victim. And you shouldn't be pretending that other people are victims when there are actual victims in other countries that are actual slaves. It's just kind of gross. Especially to use your platform as a pastor or some leader in any Christian group to act like you are being that you're doing the right thing and you're speaking for social justice reforms and equality and equity. Well, I'm not going to get into all that, but equality and equity are definitely not biblical. I am not equal to men. Well, maybe some beta males, but we're not. We're not equal. And that's not a problem. If everybody was equal, everybody would be like robots. We're not robots. We're not equal. That's just a fact. Whatever. But it's the hip, cool thing to do these days. And so pastors will, and not just pastors, just people considering themselves to be Christians, will sell their souls to say so. Anyway, sorry. Enough of my rambling. I really just wanted to tell everyone thank you for helping to support my channel. From the smallest amount to whatever. It's very helpful. Thank you so much. So, I just had to get that off because I just keep hearing these things. And of course, I get the comments. The comments don't bother me because I realize, I know the truth and it's fine. What bothers me is, my light. My fancy Walmart light. See? This thing is crap. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful Friday night. I'm gonna get my studio set back up. Wait, this is it? This is it? Anyway, y'all have a wonderful night. Like, share, and subscribe. And just stop being so judgmental. Stop being so, speaking out without thinking, or maybe the things that you think you know, you don't. And that's fine. Pray about it. It's fine. But just don't, just don't. You know? There's enough silliness and anger and division in this world. Although, really, people feed on that. They feed on anger and hate, and it's just kind of sad, but it's just psychology. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.